Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lisa and this is the Girl Meets Yarn episode 29. Welcome back to my channel. Today is April 11. I don't know what day it is, okay? The rest of the world. Today is April 11, 2020, and this is the second time I record this episode because yesterday was not a good episode. It was not good. Oh my god. Okay, so before we address everything that's going on in the world, everything that's going on with me, I have to address the fact that I have gained so much weight, and you will see it. And you'll see that I have lost a lot of eyebrows and it's insane. So before you are like, what's going on? I'm telling you what's going on, okay? I gained 14 pounds so far, and they told me I was going to gain 20 to 30 pounds, so I am kind of like halfway there. I am enjoying it and not enjoying it because I'm like, I can eat whatever I want, kind of thing. But at the same time, I did look at myself yesterday when I recorded the episode, and I was like, wow, like I look like night and day. Number one. Number two, I blow my nose, and there was like pieces of like, I don't know what, on my nose here, and then the big one here. That's a super no-no. And number three, I put on like a matte stay whatever kind of lipstick, and it was like on my tooth all the way back to the back of my mouth. Okay, so I was just like, we need to make a executive decision and re-record this episode because this is, you know, not okay. Anyway, let's get started. So if you don't follow me on social media, you can do so at mablu_123 or at Ravelry at Lisa Lugo, and I'm gonna put the handle down here. I'm coming to you guys from Seattle, where the pandemic started here in the United States, and it's been real. It's been freaking real. My husband just went to Costco today. It's been like 2 weeks since we have not been out or something like that, so it's been real. Before that, I told you all my stories about COVID-19. I have to say, if you're an essential worker, I'm going to just unite my voice with everybody else, and just thank you guys for putting yourself you know, out there to keep us in the loop kind of way. You know, if you're a nurse, a doctor, keep us healthy. Any of you are like a grocery clerk or post office, whatever person, thank you, because you know, we kind of have some kind of normalcy because of you. So I am so thankful. You guys have no idea. If you wonder why we are doing all this, is because of people like me that have our immune system are compromised. So right now I'm going through chemo. My immune system is shit, pretty much, and if I catch it, I may not survive, to be honest. So then again, thank you so much. And you know, if we are not an essential worker, we're home. I know there's a lot of people who have been impacted negatively. I have worked retail for so long that I have known of a lot of people who have been impacted with layoff and stuff like that, and it's just not fun. But you know, the more we take this seriously and we do our part, yeah, we can get out of here like soon. Because for me, it's been 6 weeks, okay? It's been awful. It's been so bad. Yeah, it's been bad. Okay, So before I go into knitting and updates and so on, I want to take a moment because I posted a couple of weeks ago a comment that I received here on YouTube, and I'm going to put the little whatever screenshot of the comment here so you can guys can read it. But I got a comment about I do get comments like this all the time, and I think it's because number one, we are in freaking stress mode. Everybody's in fight and flight. Number one. Number two, I thought it was super rude and misinformed and just I don't know, it's just I really got really pissed about this message right away. And the thing that pissed me off was the fact that she said that it's not, I don't try to be a harsh criticism, it's just constructive criticism. And there's like a very big difference between harsh criticism and an opinion and constructive criticism. Like there's night and day, okay? So don't try to cover your kind of like bitchy tone saying that it's constructive criticism, because if you base your comment out of your own opinion, it's not constructive, okay? It's your opinion, okay? Let's be real, let's keep it real. Better. Okay, so with that said, I want to remind everybody that everything I say here, if I talk about some yarn, if I talk about whatever pattern, it's just based out of my opinion. I have no I would say authority into talking about dye lots or patterns, because I don't dye yarn and I don't make any patterns, okay? So it's just solely my opinion, and I am very opinionated. We don't know so far. So let's keep it nice. You know, if you don't like my videos, it's totally okay. I don't like a lot of videos, to be honest. Sometimes I'm like, whatever, and I just don't watch them, so whatever. Okay, so you can hear my husband. He is screaming on the pretty much he's not screaming. We live in an apartment, okay? Like we live in a shoebox. So yeah. Okay, let's talk about my chemo update. If you don't want to hear about that, that's totally okay. I always, if I'm not said, I always have on my description box, I have a timestamp. So if you don't want to hear anything that is going on in my life, that's totally okay. Don't get offended, but just hop into whatever you want to see. I also put all the links of the patterns that I seen, talk about, have knit, all that. I don't do yarn because I have pseudo, like, hello, do your yarn. But if you don't want to hear any update about my chemo and how I'm feeling, just keep on going, okay? Like, keep on going. Okay, so what happened between last podcast, which it was like 8 weeks ago. It was like a long time ago. It's happened a lot of things. Okay, so last time I podcasted, I think I was on my last AC infusion. I think I was going into my last infusion, and I was getting ready to go into my Taxol, which if you remember, my treatment is divided in two sections, like phase 1 and phase 2. I'm already done with phase 1, and I am like on the 5th week of 12 of my second phase, which is Taxol. So I have so we started, I think I started Taxol the same week that COVID-19 pretty much started. So imagine thinking, you know, like, I'm immune compromised, I am going to a new drug, I don't know how I'm not going to, you know, I cannot stop my treatment either. So some people have asked me, hey, have you stopped? I don't have, they cannot stop. So I still go to the hospital every single week, and we have to go with our masks and all that. So I have the stress of COVID-19 plus the stress of Taxol. Thank God. God has been so good to me, and I have very minimal side effects to Taxol that I can see. So, you know, so far so good. So I start with my new drug and have been very different. I will say experience that from the first one. Number one, I don't have to do any injections for 5 days after that. I don't have to take any anti-nausea medication. I don't have to take any kind of medication. I only have to drink a bunch of vitamins that now I have to drink. I drink vitamin B complex, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, glucosamine or something like that, collagen, and biotin. So like I never used to drink shit, and now I'm drinking all these vitamins because all the vitamins is for some kind of side effect. So the vitamin B complex and the glucosamine, if that's the name, it's for the neuropathy. So one of the side effects of Taxol is neuropathy, and some of you guys have asked me why I ice my hands for an hour while I'm doing my treatment. Is because you lose sensation of your fingers and your toes, and that is one of the reasons I have not knitted a lot this past couple of weeks, and you will not see a lot of progress because I have been dealing with numbness on my hands and arms, and I have deal with a lot of nail changes. So I have nail bed change color, I have pain on my nails, so I cannot do anything like peel anything out. I cannot open anything that requires my nails kind of thing. So like today I needed to open a package, like and it was kind of, because it's kind of like a bottle, and you know they have like that plastic around it. I couldn't open that up. I couldn't even like scrape to get, so because my nails hurt so much. So imagine knitting that you're putting a lot of kind of like pressure on your nail beds because you're holding your pen. Like I cannot write. I bought my daughter like a family cookbook that you get it and you just put like your recipes and whatever. I wanted to start making that just in case, God forbid, I go to another place. She will have my recipe, so I wanted to make sure that I keep all that tradition in. So I started filling it up, just holding the pen, and I couldn't because it was just so painful. Besides that, my eyebrows had fall off pretty much like 40% of them. So I used to have like very thick and black eyebrows. I never filled my eyebrows at all, and now they're very sparse. So I did my very best job to fill them up. And my lashes, there's like 3 lashes left from my extensions, because of course my lady is on lockdown, and I have like 3 left because I don't have any like eyelash growth whatsoever. And pretty much the doctor say by the next 2 weeks or 3, I'm going to lose all my eyebrows and my eyelashes. This is gonna be interesting. So you know, dealing with all that, it's hard. I have to say, like yesterday I was editing this video and I had to pretty much stop it and take a moment and be like, okay, like this is where you are right now, this is how you look, and it's totally okay. This is impermanent and we are gonna pass that. But you have to feel it. Like you know, talking to myself, you have to feel how it feels, see how it looks, and sit with it. And I had to sit with it. And this morning I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna record it again. I'm gonna put a little bit more, you know, a little bit more blush, and a different whatever, and I'm gonna embrace it because this is where I need to be right now, and embrace it. Instead of looking at the obstacles, looking at, you know, like, okay, like I don't have eyebrows and eyelashes, but I don't have to take any like nausea medication, or I don't have to take any medication to sleep or anything. So I have to be grateful for that. I cannot have it all, right? This is being real. So it's been 6 weeks for us here in lockdown, COVID-19 in Seattle. Thank God, I think everybody have worked very well together to stop this, and the numbers are very good. I hope in the next 4 weeks we're out, and I'm going to probably go to Marshall's and just shop. Like I miss my daughter and I miss everybody, but I miss also my shopping. Like I miss my liberty to be able to get in my car and go anywhere and not be in, like, even Joann's. Like I hate going to Joann's, and you guys know I have two bitching comments every time I go to Joann's. Like, pray for me. Like I want everybody to be praying for me while I'm going to Joann's. Okay, like I want Joann's shit show happen anyway. So yeah. So BKL Seattle was supposed to happen in the second week of March, and they canceled it, and I was devastated. I was devastated because you guys know I have a lot of issues with gaze watching, and yeah. I was like, I'm gonna take this class. I'm gonna be like so fun, you know, I'm going to figure out what's going on with me with gaze watching, and they cancel it. But you know, they try to keep us safe. They were very ahead of everybody. I thought it was like a little bit intense why they canceled, but now I totally understand and did the right thing at the right moment. So yeah. So 6 weeks of lockdown. I think if I don't post it, I will post it here, a video that really sums up my husband and I kind of like situation. It's been real. Like, he is working from home, and I'm very grateful that he's been able to work from home, but it's real. Like having somebody be like, hey, when's my lunch gonna happen? I'm like, I just fed you like like 3 hours ago. What are you? Or like, he is nagging like there's no tomorrow. Like his snacks all the time, it drives me crazy, because by the way, he takes all the bags out, he never closes them right, or leave them out, or leave all the crumbs out, and I just, you know, have to understand, okay, this is what I'm living with. You need to breathe, shield the fuck up, because he's gonna get out of your house, I promise. If not, I really admire people that work with their spouses day to day, like 24 hours, like forever. I can't. I just, yeah, I need my space. Anyway, so that's so let's talk about some knitting, because you're here for the knitting, right? Me too. No, me no. You know what I mean. Okay, so let me blow out my nose, get something to drink, and we'll talk about knitting. Okay, so before I start talking about my FOs, my finished objects, I want to show you guys the cutest little thing. Like, this here is all the cards that you guys have sent me. It goes a little bit higher. Hold on. Can you hold on? There. And I have gotten a lot of like cute little stuff from you guys, and I am so very thankful. And I feel like I roll out of my bed, like, and this is the first thing I see every morning when I wake up. It's just your good wishes, and I am so grateful. But somebody, you know, I'm gonna say the name, I'm just gonna keep it because I didn't ask her, sent me this cutie thing, and I think she did it by hand. Okay, like this is look at that. I just have this by my bed, and I just wake up in the morning and I am like a little kid. There we go. Oh, hold it. There we go. I am like, oh, I'm blown out of proportion now. Okay, so I am like a little kid, and I'm just like, this is the cutest thing. I think it has like a little safety pin. It's for you to wear it like this. So I may go ahead and wear it because it's just like the cutest freaking thing ever. So I have a niece that is going to be born next week. And I want to make her like a bunny or a teddy bear and knit her that. So if you guys have any pattern that you think it's gonna be super easy and kind of like fun, I want to make something for her, because I did the christening gown for the boy, but not the, oop. There we go. trying to figure out this like situation, because I was like by the window yesterday and you can see everything, every single wrinkle. So we're like a little bit back, a little bit of artificial lighting, you know, just to like blend things better. But yeah, you know, I don't know how this is gonna look. I hope there's no blood on my nose, because that's what I blow out of my nose these days, like blood. Okay, let's talk about my first FO, and is De Carelia by Knit Cafe Midori. And I have talked in length about this sweater. I think last time we talked, I separated for the sleeves. You can see the stitch or the progress marker right there. I was so excited to finish this one, especially just to finish the body, to see if it fits me, because I need to get those needles that you can try shit on, stuff on. And I don't have those. So I think last time we talked, I already separated for the sleeves, and I passed this color work kind of situation, and I was super excited. So just to refresh the basics, this is a pay pattern. It's by Knit Cafe Midori. You use cotton yarn fingering, so you use fingering, and I bought a kit for the color works, two yarns, and that was $11.95. and I talked last time about where I bought this. You can go ahead and refresh it. This is what I have left, and I have pretty much like 40 grams or 30 something of, yeah, the cotton grayish blue yarn. I have to say, after I separated sleeve, it was kind of like an enjoyable knit. You just go down, stocking it, great for, you know, like watching TV, Netflix, and chill like we do every single day. And then you go into the rib, which is pretty much what she did at the beginning, which is like a weird twisted rib. You just knit the same color, and then you do a purl through the back loop. So that's the name, if there's a name for that. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Oh, hold on. Okay, yes, 5 hours of trying to figure out my lights. Okay, so my thoughts on this pattern, even though I gauge swatch, it ended up being too small for me. I think I should, I don't know what's going on with me, gauge swatching wise. I just cannot. I may need to do that thing that you just keep on checking your gauge through whatever. I may be too lazy. I think it's gonna work. It never does work. It's just like ridiculous. Anyway, so one of the things that I was really bummed out. So you do this in a US size 7. I got gauge with a US size 7, and you don't really like gauge swatch. Okay, I gauge swatch. Okay, I did. So just FYI, you know, I gauge swatch. Okay, like hello, like don't be like side. Yeah, no, I did. Okay. Anyway, so yeah. It's really cute. It's too small for me. It's gonna go into a good home. I have to say the sleeves were a dream to knit, but the cuff was a lot. The cuff was done with that weird twist rib, whatever, twist purl, and it was a 6-inch kind of, yeah. And then you go into a size US 4 for the cuff, and I wish I just kept it size 7 because they're too tight for me right now. And you know, the yarn is kind of, because it's a fingering a size 7, and just a little bit see-through. You can see my hand over there. So you know, I think I should have kept it, you know, how it was, size 7 for the cuff. And because right now, if I go into the cuff, I cannot see the effect, the voluminous effect that she wanted. I don't know if you can tell with a size 7, but it's just really tight on me. So I have to weave my ends and do all that, but at least I have a friend that love everything I made, so I bet she's going to love. There you go. Let me check my settings, hold on, because this is not working for me. Okay, I think I changed it probably for the better. Okay, so that is all about my curly. I think just bringing this darkness into my camera. My camera is like, what's going on? Oh, hold on. So cute. I'm gonna put it up there because it's like right pretty much on my chin. You're on my boobie, okay? Like, what's going on here, Lisa? It's pretty much where my chemo port is. It's like right there, so I need to move it up because it's like hitting it. Okay, let's see if it works here. Okay, so let's talk about my second FO, which is the Paloma by Espastico. And I went on and on and on yesterday about this pattern. You guys have no idea. It was a little intense. Okay, so I'm going to like keep it a little into the minimum, okay, because it was a lot. Okay, so let me bring it up. It's right here, and I don't have a dress form today, so I need to like be... we're gonna talk about this situation here in a little bit, but here is my Paloma, and I cannot be any more happy with the final product. I love it. It's so pretty. I love this yarn so much. Okay, so let's talk about the basics and then we talk about my thoughts, okay? So number one, this is a free pattern. Like, I think they bring out like every month a free pattern, beautifully technically edited and gorgeous. So if you have never tried or see their patterns, go ahead. They also have a store, it's in Montreal, and they do amazing yarn, and they have a lot of kits and stuff for, you know, it's just like a complete yarn shop. So I'm gonna put the name here just in case you live under a tree, you don't know what I'm talking about, okay? Because everybody is supposed to go, but go ahead and check them out. So back into the Paloma, this is a sweater that Melissa made with, I think, the help of Mona. I think she said that she used the help for something, I don't know. You can check their podcast also because they have a podcast. And again, if you have not seen it, like, why are you here? Because they have like so many much more views than I get. But Melissa made this sweater and it's very her style. So if I'm going to put a label on her style, it's like a classic soft punk rock kind of chick style. So I love whenever she posts like her complete outfits, and you can see what I'm talking about. Like, she likes her like straight jeans, or she likes her long skirts and stuff like that. And then she do like classic, very soft, muted, kind of like oversized stuff, like oversized sweaters, boxy, kind of like, you know, very trendy and current. And then also she paired it with she has like many shoes, but I love when she pairs it with this Fry boots, and they're like scuffed to max, and that's why I see like a little bit of the punk rock kind of in there. So it's just like a kind of like a cute mix, and I like it because it's just it's a little bit like my style in a way, because I like the same things. I like, you know, like comfort, but then the luxurious kind of the luxurious component with the mohair and the nice yarn, the sweaters and all that. And also, you know, she has like a lot of jewelry, and then like the super retro, super funky shoes. And I said I was not going to talk too much about her style, but I just did. Okay. I love it. Okay, so it's not from everybody's style. Like, we all are different, so there's a lot of issues, or sorry, there's a lot of components there that I kind of like resonate and look up to in a way. So for me, it's very my style. So this sweater, I think, is kind of like an everyday staple in your wardrobe, and again, it's like a classic. I like the details on it, the details on the rib neck. So you have a twisted rib, and then you go into your increases raglan style. It's a top-down sweater, and then you have that twisted rib that goes down into your sleeve, and it's like your sleeve detail. Okay, I thought it was a super fast knit. I am not super fast when I have like a mohair involved with a fingering. If it was just fingering, I will go even faster, but because I have the mohair, I have to look down. So for me, it's not super fast, although it's fast. She used a fingering mohair. I think you can definitely work a lot with a lot of combinations, and I know Anna have done that. She has done 2 palomas, and I'm gonna put a picture of it here. The first one, she bought like a gray, I think it was a Brooklyn tweed loft yarn, and then she paired it with blue mohair, and she made this amazing blue sweater. And then also she did a second one, which she used a speckle yarn. It was like a white with yellow speckles, and then she combined it with a hot pink mohair, and she did it very her way, and it's still gorgeous patterns. Anna did the modifications that I wanted to do on my pattern, which it was just decrease and make it a taper, kind of like fitted sleeve. And on her it looks amazing. And I think she said that she decreased every 5 rows 2 stitches, so I may ask her. If I forget, she will definitely let us know how she decreased, because she is like that, and I love her for that. But her 2 sweaters are amazing. My sweater was really oversized. I did gauge swatch with another yarn, and then whenever I took it off my needles, it was way too big. So I did a executive decision to shorten my sleeves, because I had one complete full skein of yarn, and this is a Madeleine Tush fingering single in the color, I'll put the color down here because I don't remember right now. And then I mix it up with this mohair from Isager silk mohair, and I don't have enough to do long sleeves. I needed to get another one. I think this is the color 62. It's like the dusty pink combination, and I didn't have enough, so that's why I was just like, you know, I don't have enough, everything is closed. I love to. I went to Told with Anna to get this, and I thought I needed 4 or 5, and I got 1 less, and I was just like, I think it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. I'm not. So I need to get another one just to be safe, just to do the long sleeves. And I think I'm going to go ahead and just put this back on my wardrobe, let it sit and simmer a little bit, and then just go ahead and unravel, and then just do what the modifications she did. Because I think those short sleeve, keep it like it was, kind of like a bell, no decreases on the sleeve, was a good, it would have been a good idea if it was shorter. So if I did like 2 inches and then 2 inches of the rib, it will be better than now, because right now if I put it on, it hits right here, and just like it looks, you know, the reality is that I don't have the body to have everything very oversized. So that means what that means. Okay, so I don't have a lot of chest, I don't have a lot of boobs. So and then with that, right now that I have gained 14 pounds, my belly and my boobs are debating who is who is bigger right now. So for me, you know, like being very oversized and then oversized sleeves and then no boobs, it's just a recipe for disaster, because it looks like it's not mine. So so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just going to go ahead and just let it sit. It just really, this sweater is really warm, so I'm just gonna go ahead and then get another one, unravel it, and then do the modifications of decreasing every 5 stitches. And on her, on Anna, it looks amazing. But yeah, it's such a beautiful color. It's just a beautiful yarn, everything, just a beautiful pattern. So if you want something that is kind of like cute and nice and and you're looking for something, you know, a raglan but with a little bit of a twist, this is definitely for you. And I love, and I think I talk about it, the way they did the increases on the sleeve. Yeah, that was a lot. Yes, so those are my MOs, and let's talk about my whips. Okay, let's talk about work in progress. And yesterday, I am not freaking kidding, I talked about 20 minutes about the bright sweater, and I want everybody to make it. What's going on? So I am going to be a little bit less harsh today with it, okay? Because I was a little harsh. Let me get my little sheep here. Good. Okay, so I think last time I talked about the bright sweater, I was in like, why do we have these many decreases? I think getting into a Junko Okamoto pattern, you go into a roller coaster of emotions. You need to be definitely more experienced knitter, and not be into, you know, banging out sweater after sweaters. It's just to really enjoy the process, everything that she takes you to, because it's insane. So I had like all my notes from previous podcasts and on my notebook, and I have gone through every single emotion through this sweater, and I love it so much. So we're going to talk about the Junko Okamoto bright sweater. I have it here. I'm going to bring it out really before I start talking about it, because yeah. So here we are. Last time we talked, I was on that green progress marker, and I was seriously contemplating why the decreases. So to sum it up, you start with roll hem, and then you just go into some twisted rib. Then you go into these clusters, and I call them cluster pucks. She called them clusters. Okay, I'm just adding a word. Okay, and I was in love all the way till I got here. I was just like, what is this? This is so time consuming, but at the same time, it's so gorgeous. So you can see them here. Then you change your needles, and you go into a little bit of a cable kind of situation, then back again into the clusters. Then you do some twisted rib, and you do a little bit of the design of the sleeves, and then you separate for the sleeves, and you start with a bunch of decreases on the front and increases on the back. So last time I podcasted, I was just in the decreases on the front. So you separate for the sleeves, and usually you separate for the sleeve, and you do you know, you add some stitches. You start on the round, so you add some stitches and you start working on the rounds. She doesn't do that for a while. She is making pretty much like an armhole will be in a you know, a fabric pattern, and she ask you to start the increases. So you have a little bit of increases here, and then you have you work yourself down, and you join on the round, and you start with a bunch of decreases this time on the front. So before you were working on increases on the back, then you join the round and you start with the decreases on the front. So I was just like, when is this going to, hold on, when is this going to be, there you go, all the decreases. When is this going to be just like a, you know, like I'm just gonna sit down, I'm just gonna watch Netflix, I'm going to just go on a stockinette route. It never got into stockinette route. Pretty much when you're done with the decreases, you start with this high-low hem that she has. So you start doing a bunch of short rows on the back. So you go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for several rows, and then you go into this super heavy long ass. It's just, this is like 5 inches of twisted rib. It's like 33 rows, I think it is, or 32, something like that. You just do some kind of rib there, and then you just, after that, you just go into a 30 rows of twisted rib. So it's pretty much kind of like 32 or 33. After that, you were supposed to change to some other needles and do that roll hem that you did on the beginning of the neck. And by that time, I was just like, it's not gonna happen. Like, just like, I'm done with you, okay? Like, let's be real. Like, I want to burn you, and I have spent like, I don't know how many months making you. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cast you off because I can't deal with you anymore. So that was the state of when I cast off. I was so freaking relieved. It took me like days to make this roll hem, sorry, this hem, and I was done with it. It was awful. It was just like the body, it's just like, I have made so many of her patterns that I hate, and they are become my favorite sweaters, and I think this one is gonna become for sure my favorite sweater. So yeah. Oh, I didn't talk about any of the basics, so let's do that. So this is the Bright Sweater by Junko Kamoto. I use Cumbria yarn in the White Heather color 105. I bought, I believe, 5 of this. This is a fingering weight. She knit this one on sport weight, and for me, I never get gauge. Whenever she used fingering, whenever she used sport, I need to go down to fingering. I never get gauge with sport, or I never get gauge with any, even DK. I need to go down to fingering, and that's what I did this time. I was not going to even like try doing sport weight. I just went into a fingering weight yarn and it worked. So I bought 5 skeins. I have a sleeve and a half to go, and I have this, so I think I'm gonna have enough. So if I have this one extra or some extra from this skein, it's gonna be okay, because I have some barrettes that I want to make, and especially in white, because you know me. So yeah, that's where we are. You use size US 4. I didn't gauge swatch. I was just like, I'm not going to even like waste my time. So I know if I go down the fingering weight yarn and I use her suggested needles, I get gauge. I used to do that with other designers. I cannot do that anymore, but with her it still works, so I think it's gonna be okay. So you use needles US 3, 4, and 7, and you use the 7 for the kind of cable situation that you have here. I have to say, it's just the most beautiful sweater I have ever made. And now I am on the sleeve island, and here we are. So I have not done a lot of progress after I finish my hem, because I was doing, so this is a US size 4 and a 32 cable and a magic looping, and before that I was using a 12-inch this is so tight, 12-inch circle needles, and it was not working for me. I was getting my hands like pretty much up to here numb, so I had to just pretty much just stopped. And now that I'm magic looping, it just really works better. So I may need to do like a 40 or a 48 long needles, so because right now I'm just like a little, you know, I'm just like, oh, I don't like my needle looping. I need this to be really long. Right now it's 3, just not as long as not as long as I like. So really nice. You pick up a bunch of stitches And Anna, I think she's doing this one again. She told me that the sleeves were too tight. So what I'm gonna do, or what I did, you have like 10 or 9 repeats of this short. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to just keep it really kind of the same way up to here. So instead of like decreasing stitches every repeat, which will be like every 2 inches or 3 inches, I just decrease every 2 decreases. So I decrease pretty much here and then here, just to keep my huge, you know, tricep and bicep snug in there and not too tight. Because I know one thing I have gained is this here, ladies, this here. Okay, we need to. So, woo, Jesus Christ, I get hot flashes. It's so bad. Right now I'm getting one, so. Okay, so okay, so that's where I am right now. I am on repeat number 4. I have some others to go, and I hope, you know, in a couple of weeks I can knock this one out. I hope whenever I block this one, it looks amazing. And I'm really, really pleased on how this looks so far. So it's been a labor of love. I have hated it and love it and hated it and love it. But I think in the long run, it's going to be one of those sweaters that I'm gonna cherish forever. What's going on? There's something going on, okay? Like, I hope everybody's safe. Like, seriously. Anyway, let me take a break because there's a lot of police people. Okay, so I have 2 more whips, and I'm not going to talk about any sewing, not on this podcast, because if not, we'll be here forever. Like, this is a shirt that I made. I have done so much shirts that it doesn't even, like, this is the kabuki tee, and it's supposed to be like linen, and yeah, just messed it up, but I made it with some Rembrandts that I have, cotton Rembrandts, so, or jersey Rembrandts. Okay, so this one I'm going to talk about now is the face sweater by September Knits. I did this, or I gave this pattern as a giveaway a couple of episodes back. Sorry, this wig, you know, like and I thought about starting so many projects, and I was just like, I don't know. And right now I noticed when I was podcasting yesterday, it was ridiculous. It was, my face was like great. So I noticed yesterday that I was not using a mohair, and I didn't have enough yardage to finish this one up. But I'm going to talk about it because I think I'm just going to go ahead and just bring it back to when the first mohair repeat starts, and then just switch it for another mohair that I'm going to get probably from like online. Anyway, so this is the face sweater by September Knits. I'm using a yarn, DK weight yarn that a lovely viewer sent me, and it's in the color, and let me check because I don't remember. It's in the color, there you go, Brienne of Darth Battles a Bear. Here it is. I have 3 of these, and I had enough to make a medium size of this sweater. And then also I have this Katia mohair, which, by the way, when I checked the label, I was like, my reaction was ridiculous. I deleted that video, but I should have just kept it. Because this is a silk alpaca, so this is 70 something percent, 74% alpaca, 26% silk. So this is not even mohair, and I didn't have enough. So this it has 164. I need like 500 yards or 4 something, so I don't even have 400. So I was like, shit. So I thought it was gonna be like super cute with with like high-waisted jeans, because this sweater, and I like what she said about it, that she wants something that had a lot of drape and she can use like with jeans and be very kind of like cute and crop and nice. And I saw it all on her and I love her version, and I'm gonna put a picture up here. But right now, because I don't have the right yardage, yeah, I cannot finish it up. So this is gonna be on a pause. Maybe next time it's gonna be something different. So one of these things, it happens, okay? It happens to Mary Lisa because she doesn't follow instructions. But yeah, who's counting? Okay, so let's do an update and then go into my last whip and then we call it quits. So I talked, and I said I was not going to talk about the Studio Verret by James and Watts, and I'm not even going to like put the name or here or anything because you know, whatever. Then again, remember, this is my opinion. I tried many times to get this thing to work and it doesn't work. Okay, so I'm not trying to give too much of the pattern away, but you use, let's say, US size whatever, 5 needles, and then you make an I-cord and you make a bunch of repeats, and then you get it on the round or connect it in the round, and then you pick up on the I-cord, you pick X amount of stitches, and then you start your verret. Okay, so you have this I-cord design element here that I thought it was so cute, but the reality is that I went up several sizes to make this I-cord work. I made it like 3 times. I started the design. The design is very dramatic, and I was not doing the very dramatic one. You have 2 versions. You have like a dramatic and not dramatic, and this is not dramatic and it's freaking dramatic. Just saying. So you start with a bunch of increases and I'm like, okay, there's a lot of increases. So I am really pretty much ready to start the decreases. Yeah, it doesn't go through my head. Stella has a biggest head than mine, and I had 2 choices. I had to unravel this is mohair, you know how this is gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Okay, I'm gonna throw it away, and unravel, cut it, and start it again, or just leave it. And I have to say that after trying to make it a long, it's not gonna happen. So with that said, it was good, but it's not happening. It's not happening. Sorry, we need to use this for something else, okay? Because this is such a beautiful yarn. This is Hazel Knits in the color, what color is it? Totally pink. So I need to probably get more of these and make that face sweater in this color. That will look really good, okay? But this yarn is amazing and we need to save this, okay? So if you don't know, Sari Norland came out with a new paid pattern for Verret. It's called the Bisbis Verret, and I'm going to put the name here, and I'm going to link the pattern on the description box. And of course I paid for it because you know, I love everything that she comes out with except her socks, because she's into socks now, and I'm like, girl, I don't need socks, okay? Like, keep on bringing the patterns. Anyway, so I had, and this is, you're gonna say like, what the hell is that? Okay, so I had this extra yarn from a pattern. I don't know what I did with it. I'm not gonna name the person because it's the yarn that should not be named. And I had enough, and I thought I had enough to make one of these. And I also have this mohair that I had from, what pattern, I don't know what pattern I used it for, but I had, and I thought I had enough, and I was just like, yeah, let's get this together to make the BB's Verret, and I was so pleased with it. I am pretty much on my decreases, and I was so excited. I have like 3 more, or I think I had like, yeah. So I was so excited to make this hat, and then I ran out of mohair. I was like, something else? Can something else happen here? What else? No toilet paper? No mohair? Like, it's ridiculous. If I don't have toilet paper, I don't know if this would be a good idea. Okay, to put it on toward my body. No. Anyway. So I hope that whenever I can get out of this house, eventually I will go and get another mohair of these and finish that hat, because that combination is freaking golden. I love it. But I had, and it's here in my bag, this yarn that Ellie, she lives in Portland, sent me with a pattern. It was like a lace pattern for a hat, and I love the hat, but I love the yarn way more. She knows me very well. And this is the Boss Kitty, and it's in the color Murder Mittens, and it's this very kind of like amazing color, wine color. And I was so bummed out with that combination of that barrette that I took the mohair and I combined it with this one, and I doing a Vivi's barrette with it. So I am so excited. This is everything. Like, hello, yes. It's so cute. Oh my god, it's so freaking cute. I love it. There is, you know, a little bit of speckles, is a little bit of like raspberry, amazing color. I am not into purples or wine colors, but I say that, but I have so much like wine shit, like seriously. I cannot wait to finish this one up and to say to talk about the Vivi Spirit. You do it in a US size 5 needle. You have two options. You have a fingering and mohair version that is kind of drapey and really nice, or you have a sport and mohair version. So you do whatever works for you. If you want a bigger barrette, so you do the sport and whatever. It's so easy. You start from the I-cord down, and then you finish with the I-cord detail that we had from the other barrette that I really like it. So I cannot wait to finish and try it on. I know it's gonna be my favorite hat. I love barrettes. If I have to say, this is such a nice pattern, and I love this pattern from her, and I love the free pattern that I talked a long time ago, that it was from her blog and whatever. So nice, way faster, is on worsted weight, so you can never go wrong. So I cannot wait for that I-cord finish, and it's really pretty. Hello, what's going on? So yeah, Vivi's barrette is my third whip, and I have this beautiful bag, the Sandy by the Lakeside sent to me, and I have been like, if I can frame it, I will frame it, because you guys know I love her stuff. Number one, I am a believer. Number two, navy blue is my favorite color, and you know me also like myself some gingham, so it's so pretty. It has like gray gingham on the inside. So I wanted this to be like my new sweater kind of situation, and I have so many sweaters I have bought and I need to start working on, but I feel right now like I am out of ideas, or I am out of kind of like gas or motivation to do stuff. And one of my friends, yogi friends, that we spend an hour, 2 hours a week meditating, and we work on you know, trying to keep me sane through all this. She was telling me that you know, when you are stressed out and when you are in a situation like this, we are in this fight and flight kind of survival mode, and and even though I think I'm not in that survival mode, I am in the survival mode, we all are. right now. And one of the things that we lose is kind of like that motivation, that gas, that you know, kind of like that creative juices. We lose it, and it's totally fine. Doesn't mean like we suck or anything. It just means that we are trying to keep ourselves sane through all this. So, you know, maybe I am worried about this or that, or getting the flu, whatever, you know. It's just it's part of it. So I need to take it easy and take my time to understand that my creative juices are coming back, but right now I need to keep my stress a level low. So the first thing that goes out whenever you're stressed out is your creative juices. So if you feel like you're stuck with your creativity, it's totally okay. It will come back. We have to pass this. We have to go through this, pass it, and then we can be back into creative, okay? So just a reminder. My nose is being ridiculous. Like, allergies are ridiculous. Okay, so I got this yarn from Sweet Skein of Mine, and she has a podcast, and it's kind of like the cutest podcast. I love her, and she had this yarn on her Etsy shop. I put it on my cart, and some got it from my cart, like snatched it out of my cart, and I was so mad when I went back and it was like sold out. I was like, okay, whatever. So she posted that she had 4 of these skeins, and I was one of those douchebags, okay, that bought 3 out of 4. It's like when you go to Marshall's and you see like there's 1 plate, and you're like, or 1 share, and you're like, who the F got the other 3 shares, or who got the other 4 plates? That was the 3 plates. That was me. I got 3 out of the 4. I feel so bad. But she was a little concerned that I was not gonna like her speckles, but I have to say, like, this is merely satin speckles. It's just like so cute. You have a lot of raspberry, kind of like that color that I'm making my beret with, and then you have also like a yellow, greenish, and then the ecru color. I'm in love with this yarn. So I thought I was going to do that Wilmarth. I put the name out here. I talk about it. That beautiful sweater, it's lace. However, I need a freaking break from mohair right now. I have done so many mohair stuff that I may need a break. Number one, it makes it super hot, so it kind of limits me where I can wear my sweaters at. So I want to probably make something with this amazing yarn that doesn't have mohair, but I don't know what. So if you have any idea and you know my style, just send it my way. Put it down in the description box because I need some help, okay? Because we need to use this ASAP. Also, she sent a yarn for a giveaway, and I have to sit down because I have so many thank you stuff to send out. I need to make some stuff, and I need to make something to pair it with this amazing yarn. It's so, I love the name. It's called Happy Hippie. It's a super wash merino, and we are going to give this away next time, so, or maybe the next time, okay? I don't know when I'm gonna. I like the situation right now. Why did I repeat that? I like the situation right now. So I'm in my room, nobody's bothering me. I have very minimal setup here. I have my window. I have a little bit of problem with the lighting, but it's okay. So I'm gonna try to make an effort to record more often. I was talking to my daughter, and she was like, why are you recording? I'm like, you know, if I ever I'm not here and you miss me, you can go ahead and see my video. So not that it's gonna happen. Is this real weird? I don't know. But yeah, so I'm going to make the effort to be here more often, and then bring more sewing. I have so much sewing things that are cut and I need to get into that. It's ridiculous. But I know if you are waiting for Sandy to make an update, she's gonna make one soon, and this thing is huge. I thought it was not gonna be, you know, like that's why I like to see things, because you know, I don't, you know, like they tell me like measurements that I cannot compute it, like I'm like okay, but this bag is as big, if not the same size as this one. So it's just like great for sweaters. And oh my god, the fabrics that she used all the time, they are amazing, I have to say. Like she used such cute fabrics. But anyway, thank you so much, Cindy. I have this one, and I have this one here that I have, hold on, because I have like I used it the other day as my clutch, so you know, because this is it, you can tell like I have so much. Yes, I have abused it. Okay, I'm sorry. I need to get one of those conditioners, because can you see all the views? Yeah, it's been real. Okay, like this is the cutest thing. I love clutches. I think they're like the cutest. They're so unpractical. Let's be honest. Like clutches are so I have so many clutches on my like nice ones. Okay, and I love them. They're like the cutest thing. It's just like I put it on my armpit. Yeah, so this is ridiculous. This is so cute. I wore it the other day where I went before they closed the stores. I wore it to Marshall's and I had everything, put it on my little cart, and then I was like, you know. Okay, so I think that's it. That's all I have for today. Then again, I'm not gonna do any sewing because I'm gonna be here tomorrow again, and we need to like have some lunch, and I need to talk to my husband, and we need to maybe watch Netflix because we're not going anywhere. Okay, like we're stuck in the house. Okay, so I hope you guys stay safe, stay in, wash your hands, don't touch your face. Okay, we need to get out of this ASAP. Keep on knitting, keep on doing whatever you can, be very forgiving to yourself, and I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.